This illustration deals with field marking. NEC 110.26C in car 2, 1, and 2. The purpose of this change is a revision, and it's been made to clarify that the hazards presented by two or more service disconnects with a combined ratings of 1200 amps or more and over 6 foot wide, requirements were added to 110.26C2 to prevent open equipment doors from impeding the entrance to or egress from working space of large equipment in order to minimize the chance of entrapment between open equipment doors and an obstruction such as a wall facing the equipment. Now, I would like just to point out a couple of things here before I get into the notes. And for service disconnects, we'd want to see 230.71B1 through 4. Now that's where you have two or more disconnects that's in separate enclosures and so forth. So now, if you're looking at appliances and equipment like that, disconnects, go to 110.22. If you're looking at just a single main in a service, go to 230.70, and it'll give you those rules. Now, we done talked about the information to the left in those bullets and the available fault current in those bullets. I'm not going to bore you with that again. So let's talk about the main rule here. We have two or more disconnects that are individual pieces of equipment, and you add those together and they come up to 12 amps or more, then we're going to have to figure that as large equipment. Consider that large equipment. In the old days, you know, I say old days, the existing 2017, I could have 4 900 amp disconnects and it wasn't considered large equipment. But now if you had, say, 4 900 amp disconnects, they would add together, and if they're over 1200 amps, then we would look at the 1200 amp 6 foot rule and include that. See? Now, the first thing we want to look at in item 1 is electrical equipment over 6 foot wide is still considered to be large equipment. And that's 110.26C21. Secondly, service disconnects complies with 230.71 and are rated combined amps, 1200 amps or more for 110.26C22 satisfies the 1200 amp rule, so you'd have large equipment. Thirdly, doors shall not impede entry or egress from the working space, and we know this information is provided in 110.26C2. Now, you know, looking at the left there, then you notice we have a 1200 amp switchgear there. So it's over 6 foot wide, that's large equipment. If you look at the next one and you add up those disconnects there in switchgear now, then notice that would, could be considered large equipment by the authority having jurisdiction. Now finally, the note to the left, this is important because this is some added information. The 2017 NEC, you know, required panic hardware on doors to be listed. Now they've added listed fire exit hardware shall be provided, listed in accordance with 110.26C3 in accordance with the 2020 NEC.